Welcome to another edition of the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles, some say. And the man to my left is Dr. Don Wayne, some say. Some say he's a neckbeard psychologist, some say, in certain circles. Some say he's in the bowels of stately Wayne Manor, in the room of the magic windows. Look how nice and dark they are right now.
It is dark.
Sherry, hit the switch! Hit the switch! She didn't hit the switch.
How you doing, Bottles? How you doing?
What's that?
How you doing today?
I just had I don't know. I was a little off today. I had to take a nap, and I woke up late, and I had a colonic episode. I had to go take a Meltzer real quick, and here I am, pal. I've got my diet soda, no booze, unfortunately.
All right. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Denisha, for the $1.99. Super chat is open. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Hey, Donna, how are my two favorite men doing? Denisha says we're doing great, Denisha. Feeling a lot better.
I'm doing better than AEW right now. I can tell you that much. We're going to talk about that too. It finally hit this week. So I figured we might as well get right into this.
What we got?
The biggest secret in the world was finally made public. Warner Brothers Discovery is for sale officially.
Yes.
It's on the market.
Yes.
There are several reports out there stating that multiple offers have been given. One of them was reportedly, and I've got the story here from the New York Post, $24 a share post, which would have been a $57 billion buyout, was given and made.
Was
and
that
so
Paramount?
They said, we'll pay you. Yes, that was Paramount. So we'll pay you $24 a share. We saw the stock just a couple of months ago, and it was in the shitter. It was like $8 a share. It was god-awful.
Yes.
They had a couple of big movies break this summer. Superman was one of them. They had a big moment. The stock's up to it closed today at like $21.50 bottles. So they've rebounded. They've rebounded pretty well. But here's the problem. There's a lot of dead weight going on with Warner Brothers Discovery. A lot of dead shows that aren't pulling their weight. A lot of money that could be allocated to other resources. A lot of money that could have gone to their basketball program, for example, which that's got a whole different problem right now. After if you saw the news today, players in the NBA are tied up in illegal gambling with the mob and fixing games, and it's just a shit show over there, pal. So it might be a blessing in disguise.
The thing we don't talk about, or the thing that we're in that we don't talk about, they're tied into that.
I tell you what, some son of a bitch is going to start singing like a bird here the next couple of days because you're looking at prison, pal. And there was a couple of highlights showing some of the guys that were potentially involved just throwing the ball to the other team. Like there's a lot of evidence showing where this was going on, but that's besides the point.
I saw that one guy said, let's let you all know I'm going to be going out with an injury at halftime, halfway through the game. I'm not going to name the player, but he said, I'm going out with an injury, just letting you all know. And that's how they threw the game.
I think I'm going to pull my hamstring in the second quarter.
Yes. You've got the Bonanno family, the Genovese family, all involved in this. You got the Gotti family involved in it. All kinds of good stuff happening.
So, with that being said, this story hit like a truck because they declined that offer. And there's a rumor going around right now that there's going to be another offer quickly for this product. Like they're trying to get this deal done as quickly as humanly possible. And I got to be honest, I don't think this is good news for Tony Khan because he's trying desperately right now to pull the nose up. And for all the neckbeards that scream, ratings don't matter. I have news for you. Those advertisement dollars matter a lot. And those advertisement dollars come from your viewership and the type of viewers that you get with the whole scale, right? The demo, the monetization, all that stuff matters. And in the real world, in the business world, not I love wrestling for the art of wrestling. It's also a business and it's here to make money. Well,
the guys at the Wrestling Observer, Don, are starting to peel back the layers of the onion to let their listeners know what's really going on. Brian Alvarez said on a recent edition of Wrestling Observer, if AEW could be subject to cancellation before 2027, he said, everyone that says you don't need to care about ratings, but actually you do. If the show's not doing well and Warner Brothers Discovery sells, and whoever buys looks at how the show's doing and they're like, it's too expensive, then it's over. It's done.
Yeah. We've said this for a year now that they've got to pull the nose up on this thing.
And they've laughed in our faces.
Laughed at us. They said, you don't know what you're talking about. You guys don't know shit. I kind of do. I'm not going to go into what my degree is, but I kind of know
if shows ratings didn't matter, Don, and the advertising budgets didn't matter, the advertising rate dollars coming in didn't matter, if the networks are just putting it out there on the show out of the goodness of their hearts, we'd be seeing year 57 of Me and the Chimp right now. We'd be seeing that girl with Marlo Thomas, age 85, still on the air.
We would have the Golden Girls granddaughters are now the new Golden Girls going on right now. Yes. Would have never stopped running.
Never stopped running.
Leave that bullshit at the door, right? So This is the problem. Someone comes in and doesn't like this show. And I'm pretty sure this is just me talking, but you and I have lived through this before. I don't know if a lot of the audience that watches us has lived through this before. We have seen
the children. They have no idea.
Our audience.
Yes. I'm talking about the children out there who will pretend they're experts in the IWC, in the wrestling oeuvre. They weren't around for the good times in 2000 of AOL selling to, yes.
Because even in today's environment, get over it. If you're not WWE, and it's taken them 40 years to get over that stigma that wrestling is for booger eaters. It's taken a long time to get over that, right?
Sure.
The Rock helped that. A lot of things have helped that. AEW, and we're going to talk about the pay-per-view they put on this weekend. You see a pay-per-view like that, and the main event that they held, and then you see the show's averaging around 500,000 people right now.
If that.
We got to get the hell out of here. WCW, which was canceled in early 2000, was it 1? I want to say 2001 they got bought out, or end of 2000. I can't remember.
Yes.
They were still doing over 1 million. They were still doing 1 million people, and they got shit on. They were crushed. I get it. Today's different, Don. They've got this, and they look at all those numbers. And if you think AEW is doing well on the Max version, it's never on their top 10 shows watched. I went and made sure today just to check it out. Do you know what is still in the top 10 on Netflix today?
Oh, Netflix? Raw.
On Netflix. Raw is holding at 9.
Right.
It's a weekly episodic television show that stays in the top 10 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and sometimes Thursday.
Right. Now,
HBO, and don't get me wrong, some of their shows are garbage right now. It's been a long time since The Sopranos. If you are truly doing well, you're going to see that show in the top 10 every week. You're not seeing any of that on the other side of the coin. So I don't see any reason why coming in here, they'd go, hey, man, we're spending $150 to $180 million on a TV show where we're not getting that reciprocated back in revenue for ads. Half the ads we show is our own product. What the hell are we doing here? Go ahead, Boss.
And what about if the HBO Max streaming numbers for AEW content were good? If the pay-per-view buy rates for AEW on HBO Max were good, they would be lauding them from the highest mountain. You'd see her, Excalibur would say, welcome everyone watching us on TBS, and welcome to 2.2 million people who streamed us on HBO Max last week. Welcome to Dynamite.
But you're not seeing that.
You're not seeing that at all. You hear JR saying, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Another 2 million people watching us on HBO Max. You don't hear anything about that. Nope. Colin Petipas with a Canadian 20 spot. I live in Canada, so I don't see AEW ads, but from what I've heard, it's in-house ads or the same ads you see at 3 p.m. Advertisers that bought bulk ad space, not time specific, so they're not bringing in new ads or sponsors. Oh, they brought in a new sponsor, Colin, and a lot of people don't realize that, but are starting to now. It's ICE. The federal government is a new sponsor.
They are bringing in ICE ads, and Adam Hangman Page is losing his mind every week.
Why do we have all these luchadors? Where are all these luchadors coming from? Where are all these Spanish people coming from? We better investigate. Let's launch a couple ads, put up some feelers in AEW. Trump's probably sitting in the White House.
You got to admit, it's funny as hell. Who is this? Who is this Bandido?
Who is Bandido?
What is this? Is he a bad guy? What is this?
What is this Hechicero guy?
What is that? Nakasaka? What's his name?
Mario, launch an investigation. Christy?
So yeah, I I got real concerns for this company. I don't think it's going to make it past 2026. Now, personally, I really don't. I don't think it's going to make it past 2026. I just don't personally. These numbers indicate it ain't going to make it.
It's not going to need a new buyer to come in. The new buyer is going to say, we'll buy it if you trim the fat. You need to cut X amounts of hundreds of millions of dollars off your programming budget. That's what you need to do right now. Off your programming slate, you need to cut, I don't know, $1 billion worth of useless programming off your slate.
$1 billion.
$1 billion or $500 million. They're paying $68 million a year to AEW. That's what was divulged, between 68 and 60, 65 and 68 million.
No, it was 150 to 180. 150 to 180.
Is that a year or is that the total contract?
That's a year. That's a year. Trust me, I'll look that one up. Dave.
Well,
Dave
then they'll pop 180. Pal, they'll pop 180 million in a heartbeat.
Here's my thing.
What's the last Nielsen's on them?
Hold on.
427. 427. That's what they'll say.
Let me get this out.
Go ahead.
Because they're businessmen. They're going to look at what WWE's doing with NXT on the CW and be like, you're not getting those numbers. And they're only paying them like what, $30 million a year, somewhere around that. So no, we're not doing 150
33.
a year for you. 33. We're not doing we're not paying this anymore. I've got real concerns. So where do you go if you're Tony Khan, if Paramount buys this? Because they're in the TKO business. And you can bet your ass they're not going to keep them around if they just got the UFC signed, which is also the sister, brother, whatever you would say, company of the WWE. They're not keeping that shit around.
Here's an example for the neckbeards out there. 1 million viewers a week when CM Punk was in AEW. 1 million viewers a week. I'm Joel Silverstein from Pearl Shampoo, Lever Brothers division. How you doing, Mr. Zaslav? Looking for a good commercial we could run during AEW. AEW is a great show. We've got 1 million viewers every week. We got CM Punk, one of the biggest wrestling stars out there, Chris Jericho, and we're charging. It's a steal for you, Mr. Silverstein. It's only $50,000 for a 30-second ad spot on this show. Oh, for 1 million viewers, $50,000. That's fantastic. A year later goes by. Hey, I'm Steve Crimple from the Frisbee Corporation. We've got AEW. It's a great show. Kids watch it all the time. They play a lot of Frisbees. AEW. Do they really, Mr. Zaslav? Yeah, they throw them in the crowd on there. You'll say, we'll put Frisbee night. Oh, okay, great. What's the ad rate for that? Well, they're doing $800,000. The ad rate's $30,000 for a 30-second spot. That's how it drops. That's how it drops.
We're down to $500,000 now. We're down to
$500,000. So they're probably giving it away. They're probably $15,000 for for an ice ad, a 30-second ice ad.
That show this week, by the way, was in an arena that held 1,800 people.
That's all it had.
1,800 people.
1,800 people there. What did the arena hold?
3,100, but it's set up for 1,800. So it was technically a sellout because of the arena entrance and the ramp and all the other shit.
I was going to say the size of the staging and all that. It takes up a lot of space. So these kids don't understand what the ad rates are and how it's important to have the advertiser money coming in. So you can pay people in your programming. You can pay AEW's contract. You can pay to have new shows come on the air. You can pay for season 3 of Peacemaker.
I get it.
You won't see season 3
we
of
can
that
pay
piece
for
of
things.
shit.
I get it. We can pay for things.
God. Well, I feel like I'm talking to if you go, I feel like I'm on Twitter talking to the greasy-haired, orange-fingered.
No, stop.
Fools in the basements.
You can't talk to these people, man. They don't understand because they don't have jobs and they don't know how bills get paid and they don't know how advertisements work. They don't know any of this shit. Mom and dad has been paying their bills for their entire life. They don't understand the real world. The real world AEW is about to step into. The billionaire's son is about to have this rug yanked out from under him.
Oh, he's a
billionaire. He's not ready for this. No, he's not.
They'll never take it away from us, Don. They'll never take it away from us. Tony Khan's a billionaire. They're never going to take AEW away from us. It's a great show. It's a great show. It's a great show. I love it. It'll be on the air in perpetuity. You two don't know what you're talking about.
They have to fix this show and they have to remove Tony Khan right now. And last night was a prime example of why. Was a prime example.
Dude, they're not going to remove him. They gave you a Tony Khan ejection last night. They got him on the air last night.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. I don't even want to get into that bullshit right now. fucking acting like a dude. I've seen better acting out of D porn movies. Like it was just awful.
If you're good, Jesus Christ,
having problems over there.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about SmackDown and Raw real quick before we get through this.
Let's do chronologically. Let's do SmackDown.
SmackDown, I just want to cover real quick. The big return was
Ilya Dragunov.
So he's back. He beat Sami Zayn for the title, and they got beat up by the Bloodline, the new Bloodline, or whatever they're called themselves.
MFTs. The MFTs.
The MFTs, yeah.
My favorite team.
That was the big takeaway from that.
My fat truckers.
Yeah. SmackDown's picked up. I'm at least going to give them that much. The show's more entertaining now than it was 3 weeks ago by far.
They've got a better U.S. title holder.
Yes, much better. They did like 1.185 million, so the viewership is up. So I'm glad to see that. The show's picked back up. We've talked about this on this show. SmackDown was getting stale. It was getting boring. They're at least trying something new. I'm not a huge fan of the Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes angle again because there's no way he's dropping that title to Drew. I don't know why we're rehashing this again. But other than that, I thought it was an interesting show.
And we had a great match to see between those two guys, and we've got a mystery. Not a murder mystery, but a whodunit.
Right.
Who beat up Jacob Fatu and knocked his teeth out? Did you see his teeth and that pool of blood by his head on the floor?
Well, you knew what's going on with him, right? So that story's finally come out. It's been given because for the longest time there was the dirt sheets running with he's going to be out way past Survivor Series. He's got some sort of a major injury. Turns out he had to have oral surgery of some kind to fix something that was going on. The word of the street now is he's going to be back in plenty of time for SummerSlam. For Survivor Series.
Right.
That's the word now. So this is why I don't believe the dirt sheets anymore in anything they say. I just can't anymore. I just can't, Bottles.
You can't, especially Mr. Shoe Dye. You can't believe that. Mr. Kiwi in the hair.
This is true. That night, though, there was something I want to talk about, and I'm not going to talk about the whole show. AEW had its pay-per-view. If you could call it that. Folks, Darby Allin and Jon Moxley were the main event of this show, not the World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, I can sort of buy into that until I see what this thing became. They put barbecue skewers under Darby Allin's fingernails at one point in this match. They also tried to drown Darby Allin in a fish tank. And you mentioned to me, because I didn't see this clip, Darby Allin was holding the ropes, holding them, so Jon Moxley could whip him with the belt, holding them of his own volition, not because anybody was holding on to him.
He was against the ropes. He was against the ropes, facing the crowd. And Jon Moxley took his belt off and started whipping the belt around like he's going to, do a little bit of business with it. And Darby Allin literally was holding the ropes, and he turned around, looked, and saw Moxley. And he could have just jumped through the ropes to get away from it, but he let Jon Moxley whip him. He's standing on 2 feet and let him do it. Who would do that?
I don't know. I don't get any of this.
I don't get any of it either. No psychology. I don't think they're telling stories, Don. They're telling stories.
Look, I just want to say this right now because I've been saying it all week. This isn't a wrestling show anymore with Jon Moxley with what he does. It's not wrestling. No. It's disguised.
It's a freak show. You go to back in the day, you used to go to the freak show at the carnival, and you see the guy bite the heads off of chickens, and you see CeeLo, the seal boy. He's got the flippers for arms and all that bullshit. That's what this has turned into.
No,
the fire eater, all that stuff.
It's a masochist show wearing the shield of wrestling to disguise itself. It's absurd in every regard when you get Jon Moxley on the screen with these do whatever the hell you want matches. It was pathetic. And the worst part about this was Darby Allin, after all that we're going to do this or we're going to do that, he beat him with a simple ass sharpshooter.
A simple wrestling hold.
A sharpshooter.
It's an I quit match. Right. And generally the referee would put the microphone down so you can hear the guy say, I quit.
And he couldn't hear it. They didn't even.
He couldn't hear it. Had no microphone. He just tapped out, said, I quit. And that was it.
I don't understand.
Which destroys the premise of the entire match. An I quit match is to say, who's the real man here? You're a man or you're a pussy. Who's going to say, I quit?
It's frustrating to
crowd.
say the least. It's frustrating just to see what I saw. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. I just saw the highlights, and that's all I did to see. When I heard
horrendous.
barbecue skewers under the fingernails, I said, I'm not buying the replay. I'm not watching that trash. I have no interest in it. The other part of this show, Statlander won. Moday got another belt. She's going to face Statlander at the pay-per-view coming up. Samoa Joe and apparently
turned heel.
No, yeah. Well, he turned heel, and apparently the Page shit's not over with, so we're going to keep going with that. The only thing that concluded this thing, honestly, was a Statlander and Tony Storm angle. That's all that concluded. This was essentially a Monday Night Raw or a Dynamite where we're just going to carry these angles to the next show.
It was like a Dynamite with a indie freak show at the end. That's what it was like, essentially. That's all it was. That's all it was. And you can't go on and say, I want to own and operate a successful wrestling company, a professional wrestling company, to compete with the WWE product. You can't say that and be serious when you're having this car crash freak show, as some podcasters would say, an outlaw mud show.
Moment. It's a masochistic show.
Yes, a sadomasochistic freak show at the end. You can't have it. You cannot have it like that. There's a time and a place for things like this.
There's no place for that. There's no place for this in wrestling. There's no place for this in any kind of sport. This is some shit you see in a horror show.
If you've got an outlaw indie promotion act that's operating in the Midwest somewhere, where you've got to do what you got to do to get people to come see your show, all 50 of them, all 80 of them to show up, for a $10 ticket and a free hot dog. Have at it. Do it. Light tubes, the whole 9 yards. Hang somebody. Mace in the eyes. Do what you got to do, because that's all you offer. You're not a professional wrestling company. You're just an outlaw indie show. This guy wants to run. The billionaire's son wants to run a professional wrestling company. That's been his dream since he was a child, and compete with the WWE, and he's not competing. Obviously, he's not competing, Don, because they're crashing out. The company is crashing, falling apart before our very eyes. He just wished Chris Jericho. Best wishes to Chris Jericho. Did you see that?
No, I'm not going to talk about Chris Jericho on this show.
I'm just saying that
I'm hoping he's like the boogeyman, and if I don't mention him, he'll just go away.
No, he's going to WWE.
If you say his name 3 times in a row, he appears in a wrestling ring near you.
He'll say, "Hi guys." He's coming back to WWE, folks.
He's not going to say that to me. I can guarantee you that much.
He's definitely coming back to WWE because Tony's washed his hands of it. Tony's also said in the media blitz before WrestleDream, Britt Baker is under contract through 2027.
I saw that. What did you? So since we're going to talk about a little bit of news, he did mention she who now shall not be named again. Did you see that? I'll give you a hint. Big blonde chick disappeared in February. Haven't seen her since.
Camille.
He mentioned Camille. You know what he said?
No.
She's still under contract. I hope she comes back soon. Aren't you the booker? What the hell are we talking about? You're the booker, dude. She's your employee. What do you mean you hope she comes back?
He acts like he doesn't want to take credit for being the booker when it's bad. When things are great, he wants to take credit for booking. That's what he wants to do.
I don't understand it.
He's back. There he goes.
I'm adjusting things, models. Please don't do that. I'm asking. I'm adjusting.
What are you adjusting? What are you adjusting?
My nuts. You want to see me do them again?
That's okay, Don. I'm glad.
I'll show you next time.
I'm glad you turned the screen off. You get a little worked up over there. They start to swell up on you.
I don't understand why he's going to say something like that when she's under contract with him. Can you imagine Vince McMahon back when he was running the show, or even Triple H now? I really like that Seth Rollins guy. I hope he comes back soon. What the fuck?
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Completely ridiculous. So I do want to talk about a couple things on notes and news before we get to Raw, because Raw is going to be a quick rundown too, because we might have some problems on Raw. There has been a lot of shit. And I'm telling you right now, I'm almost positive Meltzer got wind of this and put out his hit piece before this could air because he knew this was coming. Someone gave him a nudge, wink, wink. This is coming. You might want to be ready. Mm-hmm. Meltzer earlier this week did some Meltzer math and tried to shit on ESPN signing WWE.
He did. Well, he did it last week. He did it a week before. He did it when WrestlePalooza came out. He shit all over the whole deal.
No, but this week he did his Meltzer math. He was like, well, here's the subscriptions, and here's how you know, and this is the impact that they had, and it's not very good, and I don't think they're going to be. Like, it's Meltzer's the same guy that takes the minutes viewed and literally divides it by the minutes of the show. And so technically only 1.18 million people could have actually watched the show. And if you really do the math, that's all that's really going to watch the show. He doesn't understand how people watch streaming services anymore. It has fucking left his brain. He cannot compute that not everyone engulfs every piece of wrestling like he does. People have shit to do. There is a lot of wrestling shows right now.
He doesn't
don't
understand.
have time to watch 5 hours every week. Right. Sometimes 6.
He can't understand people aren't watching it live. Some people are watching it that night. Some people are watching it the next day, especially on the weekend.
On Thursdays.
Right.
So this story dropped today where an unnamed source at ESPN says they are very happy with the way things are going. And then a report dropped from journalist Austin Kapp, who said, we saw some of the initial numbers once again, a lot of good receptions, he said. They launched it right before the football season. You can see the spikes when the NFL started. You see the spikes when college football started. And you really see a huge spike the day of WrestlePalooza. You saw it spike again. So all of this hyperbole that Dave is out here running around screaming is laughable to me, man. It's comical at this point in time. He's supposed to be a journalist, right? Like, that's his thing. Dave Meltzer claims to be an unbiased journalist, but he tries to go out of his way to shit on WWE at any chance he gets, while he constantly makes excuses for AEW struggling viewership and attendance. I'm tired of the nonsense from that guy, man. I really am. I'm just done with it.
We'll never really find out until after he's dead what the connection is, whether he's a shadow booker for AEW, whether he's invested money into it, whether they've invested money into the Wrestling Observer newsletter, that whole operation to help keep it afloat. Maybe he's taking loans from Tony Khan to stay in business. Who the hell knows?
I don't know. I really wish we could find out, because it doesn't make any sense. He has prided himself for so long on being an unbiased journalist, and now that's just gone. That moniker is gone. And all the people that have shit on him in the past 5 to 10 years, I'm not saying they were always right, but they're right now. Eric Bischoffs of the world, they're all right. They're all in the right corner, saying this guy's full of shit. You shouldn't listen to him.
From 98 to maybe 2001, he was the go-to guy for wrestling news. I mean, I subscribed to him back then. I thought everything was accurate. If you wanted a rundown of what every single wrestling show did live all around the world, he had the rundown. He had who won, who lost.
Yes.
He was the guy. He took everything to a granular level. And
here we go from Mark K.
Nielsen should hire Scott Steiner to calculate the ratings. The numbers would be accurate and disastrous. For you at sacrifice. Thanks, Mark, for the 5 spot. I would pay money to see. Now, here's Scott Steiner breaking down the latest Nielsen ratings.
I would go crazy to see something like that happen.
Yes.
I would probably die of laughter. Just watching Scott Steiner try to do anything collectively with his brain is just too much to handle. The steroids have affected him greatly.
He's great. He is great.
There is also news on Guy Evans' front. For you that don't know, Guy Evans is he was a guest on the show once. We like Guy Evans. He's a very good investigative reporter and journalist. He writes really well. He does his homework. He gets to the bottom of things. So he had a GoFundMe because he said he wanted to write the autobiography of one Terry Bollea.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to write the death of AEW.
No.
I'm writing this story.
No, that's going to go to Awful Wrestling. He's already got the notes on that. He's going to write that book. So Guy Evans put up a GoFundMe, and I put it out on Twitter. It was done in 48 hours. He got the money from his GoFundMe. In 48 hours. Done.
That's going to be fantastic.
So I just wanted to give him a shout out real quick. Love Guy Evans. I think the world of that guy. He's such an articulate person. He does his research. If you haven't read his books, I highly suggest them. He really, the death of WCW Nitro is a fascinating tale of backstage politics and backstabbing. Mm-hmm. It is crazy to read. And when you see the numbers that go into it, it gets even better. WWE announced a new date for the 2026 PLE Money in the Bank in New Orleans. Money in the Bank got moved from September 6th to August 29th. I'm pretty sure that probably has something to do with a college football game in New Orleans Dome, if I had to guess.
Probably, yeah, probably.
So that was one thing that I noticed. And Liv Morgan's return, looking like early 2026. I'm going to guess the Royal Rumble. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so too.
Do you want to talk about?
I don't know why when she's hurt, when these people are hurt, they don't have them on TV. They don't bring them out for commentary, backstage segments, that sort of thing. Just to keep their hand in.
I kind of get it to a point. Thank you again, Mark K, for the 5-spot. We appreciate you. Like that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications button. Super chat's open. 2026, Liv Morgan's supposed to be coming back. I think it's going to be the Rumble. That's sort of we've sort of circled that. If she wasn't back by Survivor Series, you and I both sort of agreed that would probably be the date they target. Because she was the workhorse this year in the women's side of the house, I think.
Yeah. Not well, she's no how can I put this? She's no Rhea Ripley in the ring. She's no
right. No, she's not.
No mat master, no grapple machine in the ring, but she's also a good actress with all the backstage shenanigans.
Yeah.
And her dom and all this other crap that we were doing, the big angles there. It was great stuff. You
believe everything she does.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about Raw real quick?
Let's talk about Raw.
Again, titles changed hand. The tag team championship changed hands to help me out here. AJ Styles and Dragon
Lee. AJ Lee.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's what they're doing.
I'd go with Dragon Styles myself. That's
Dragon Styles, Styles Dragon.
I don't care. Anything but that.
Well, the kids are saying AJ Lee, pal. That's what they're saying. In fact, they're wondering where AJ Lee is.
She's on a book tour. If they did their homework, they'd know. Right. It's not that hard. She's got other obligations. Good God.
Yeah, they're not bringing her out for every Raw or every SmackDown or every Swing and Dick pay-per-view they do. Russell Johnson, that sort of thing. You know, these weird name pay-per-views. They're going to bring her back for big shows. They brought her back for effing WrestlePalooza. That's where she made her in-ring debut after all these years. So they're probably going to have her come at Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, definitely. You'll see her competing in the Rumble.
Thank you, Mr. Nobody, for the sub. We appreciate it.
Or what about Becky Lynch's title? I thought she was going to get the women's Intercontinental title. Becky Lynch. I thought that was going to happen. Thought they're going to have a big feud there. When do you think she's going to challenge Becky?
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
It's just swinging in the wind right now. It's just blowing by.
Well, she's on something.
What might have been? What might have been?
She's on. I don't think we're done with that yet, to be quite honest.
No.
I don't think they're done yet. Not everything has to happen in a boiling pot of water right away.
Right.
Let the water come to boil. It doesn't need to boil right away.
Don't throw the ramen in there just yet. Don't throw Nikita Lyons' hair in there just yet.
That's your girl.
Not my girl, pal.
The other big thing about this show, in my opinion, was the battle royal match to see who would face CM Punk for the title, because he is the number one contender. Braun Breaker gave the belt back. It's a 2-man booth right now, in my opinion. There's going to be a third guy, and what they call it, the new visionary? Is that what they're calling themselves?
Do they have a new name for it yet?
I think it was roughly like the new vision or something like that. I'm not sure. Something
Revision?
Like double vision. Through my eyes, I got double vision.
Yeah.
No disguise. There you go. So, I don't know. Maybe they can call themselves, I don't know.
Foreigner.
I like
the foreigners.
No, because then you're going to get ICE campaigns.
Yes. ICE ads on Raw now.
Gonna pop up. And then AEW's really going to scream, what the hell, man? Really? That's our gimmick.
Now. What the hell?
This is bullshit.
What the hell?
Jay Uso won the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he won it was kind of heelish.
Right, because his brother was in there with him too.
Right.
Warrior JWR with 199, Dave Meltzer channeling his inner Mr. Garrison. Yes.
That's awful. Mr. Hat.
That's Alvarez. He's got a little Alvarez puppet on his hand.
Oh,
with
man,
a hole
thank you,
cut in where the
JWR.
mouth would be, if you know what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this got my attention because it's not the happy slappy Jey Uso. He's got a bit of an attitude right now, which
Right.
I think is more what he's supposed to be anyway. Let more of you come out. Stop being this yeet yeet all the time guy. The guy that's getting my attention is Jimmy Uso. The facials he's doing, the work he does.
Right.
That's the guy I'd like to see get a little bit more.
The better Uso. He needs
Here's
a
my question to you.
catchphrase. What's that?
Here's my question to you. What if Jimmy Uso turns out to be the next member of the other faction with Braun Breaker and he screws over his brother this weekend? Just something, or it's at Saturday night's main event.
Saturday night's live main event this weekend.
That's
Saturday night's weekend main event live. What is that? When is Saturday? When is it?
November 1st or the 3rd.
We got a little bit of time.
Yeah. So it's 2 weeks.
2
No,
weeks
actually,
away.
it's a week. No, it's a week. It's next Saturday.
Good.
All right.
The quicker it comes, the better.
All right. I can see you're in that kind of mood. So
Jimmy will. I don't think so. I don't think Jimmy's going to be I think Jay's going to be the next member. And I also think the next member.
You think it's Jay?
Why not?
I don't know if I buy that because they were fighting not too long ago.
Doesn't mean anything. Paul could be talking to him on the side saying, you don't need these guys. You don't need all these guys.
Okay. All right.
I'm your wise man. Roman's done now. Roman's done. He turned his back on you and your brother. I'm your wise man. I've always been your wise man. That's what he can say.
We talked about this last week on the show about how great it was that they went to credits before the attack happened.
Right.
Kevin Nash brought that up on his podcast this week. I was like, a little late to the party, but he said the same thing. He was like, the credits started to roll and then the attack happened. And you were like, wait a minute, what the hell is this now? So again, it's little things like that that get you hooked. So I'll be watching this. I'm going to watch SmackDown, I think, tomorrow night and see where it goes.
What are all these Austin Theory rumors I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah. So Austin Theory has been MIA for a good minute now. And there's just so many rumors now that you don't know what to believe. He's going to be heavily featured at Survivor Series. They're going to bring him into the Seth Rollins group. Now he's going to be brought in later instead. You don't know what's going on with that guy.
He's in the doghouse. He's got chlamydia. Yeah. He's got this. He goes in a car accident with his dog. He lost his passport. Whatever. Always wackadoo excuses.
None of it makes any sense, and none of it adds
makes
up.
any sense. I think he was hurt, and they were waiting to see. They're waiting to slot him into a storyline. I think they're trying to get him away from Grayson Waller because they saw that really wasn't going anywhere. So
it's time to talk about AEW on October 22nd that had 1,800 people in the facility. This show had moments where I was like, that ended up being really good. And then the very next segment, they shot themselves in the foot. I don't understand where this show was trying to go last night. I also don't feel like there's any kind of closure to the storylines that they have right now. It just all continues to go chugging along and like it never ends. And I'm going to talk about the parts where it just seems like it never ends and how painful it was to watch some of this shit.
Some of it was, okay, we're done with this person. Let's move on to this person over here. And 2/3 of the show was, okay, let's keep on grinding up the same old shit. Put some more whipped cream on it.
It was. And the parts that I was very confused on, some of the segments, at the end, I was like, that was great. That ended up being absolutely perfect.
That's what should have happened. That's what should have happened.
But they start off by announcing Bandido versus Okada as the main event. And I said, there's no fucking way I'm going to see this match. There's not a chance in hell. I will be out of here before this.
And there was no reason to watch that. I saw it, and there was no reason to watch it.
And I do want to give a shout out to Larry because he did send me a prayer for me before I watched this show. Said if it got too bad, he prayed that the power would go out. Oh, so we get Hangman backstage with the trainer.
Who had lines?
Trainer.
Who had lines?
Hold on. The trainer is oddly rubbing on his neck in a non-heterosexual. Dude, it was a non-hetero way. It didn't look. He's supposed to be a trainer. That didn't look like some trainer type shit going on.
Oh, yeah. That's getting the kinks out, isn't it? That's getting the kinks out.
I don't know what this was supposed to be, but whatever it was,
we're going to work that shit out.
It disturbed me. I didn't understand this.
It's awful.
It's like, why? Why? He was like, you got to sit down, Hangman. You can't go back out there.
That's how he said it.
Yeah, you got to sit down, Hangman.
Y'all got to sit down, Mr. Hangman.
And he rubbed. And when he was rubbing on him, he wasn't like trying to work things out back there. He was like, how's that? How's that? Is that good? You like that?
Oh, no.
It was. That's what it was.
Oh, no.
I was like, okay.
God, it was awful.
This
was
is
awful.
crazy.
I said, who is this guy? He's got lines.
And then this is where it gets even worse. He says he's going to ruin Samoa Joe's life when he finds him. They cut back to the ring. Here comes Samoa Joe. I was like, there he is, Hangman. He's in the middle of the ring. Come get him. You know who didn't come out the entire night?
Hangman.
Hangman.
Because that thing they've recorded was after WrestleDream, supposedly.
I know.
That was recorded after WrestleDream. Yeah, but they weren't too clear about that for the viewer.
It didn't matter. You would think
none of it matters.
You wouldn't run this. You wouldn't run that segment and then be like, by the way, here's fucking Samoa Joe if you want to come kick his ass.
The problem with Hangman Page and correct me if I'm wrong, Don. Tell me what you think of this take. The problem with Hangman Page being the champ for AEW is he talks too goddamn much. Don't let the guy cut these promos. Don't let him cut the promos. Don't have him wrestling every swinging dick on television. Don't have him wrestling Orange Cassidy or Mike the Paperboy or Steve the Plumber or the Jamie at the concession stand, the popcorn kid.
Going 15 minutes for an entire segment, struggling with them.
15 minutes. You told them a half hour some of these matches are. Half hour. Yes. 3 commercial breaks they have during these Hangman Page matches. That's how long they are. He should be you hardly see him on TV, but everybody talks about him. Everybody will be talking about Hangman because they won his belt.
That's going to ruin Samoa Joe's life when I see him. Coming to the ring, the Opps with Samoa Joe. Get the hell out of here. So they're going to face off. They're going to face off with the Hurt People for the Trios Championships because they beat Ping Pong and the Damned the night of the pay-per-view to become the number 1 contenders.
No. Ping Pong is the Damned. The Damned is Ping Pong and the GOM.
No, it's Ping Pong with the Damned.
Ping Pong with the Damned, everybody.
There you go. So this gets even better. The Shetland pony that was managing this match, by the way, was aggressively loud to start this whole thing off. She got in between the two groups and was like, you got to get back in your cutter. Okay.
Did you see when Powerhouse Hobbs was up against Lashley and she took his straps down and she goes, oh, no. She's telling Powerhouse Hobbs, dude, don't take those straps down. What the?
I don't know.
If I was them, look, dude, they got so many referees there, they could cut her in a heartbeat. I'd put her ass on Ring of Honor television on the website where no one watches. Put her on there where no one watches.
She is too much of a distraction. The ref should be seen in moments only, not be in the middle of the ring before it even starts. By the way, a 120-pound girl separating grown men like that is absurd on the basis of its entire viewership.
You've got that on, listen, you got that on WWE programming also. So,
and it's absurd.
The only one that's realistic is Jessica Carr, who's just as big as some of those guys, but she's a wrestler.
Anyway, Ping Pong comes out. He costs the Hurt People the match. The Opps win. Moving along.
Quickly, please. Quickly.
Tony Schiavone asked
it's just getting better and better.
Tony Schiavone.
You know what? Next week, I'm not watching this shit. I'm going to be totally surprised by what you're telling me happened in that show. So I can just react to it and vomit and everything else. It's just a pool of blood and tears and vomit all around my chair. Go ahead.
Tony Schiavone asked Samoa Joe, which, by the way, can we stop doing interviews directly after matches when the guys are completely gassed? Can we stop that?
Right.
That's a horrible idea. Do it backstage where they've cooled down some and they got their breath back.
We did it back in Crockett.
We did it back at Crockett, Tony. They came to our podium. We interviewed them.
Okay, here we go. Back in Crockett, when that would happen, the wrestler would literally say like a 20-second clip and run away. Ric Flair, you just came in there and attacked that man. When you met with the best, expect it at any time. And then he just leave.
Right. And with this, you got a 20-minute dissertation of what just happened over the weekend.
He steps up to the podium. He bangs on the mic. He's like, if you'll take a minute to listen to me. So this is what happened. Samoa Joe, why did you do this? He said, because Hangman Page is not the best. I don't think he's the best wrestler. I am. And I'm going to be here for him. And then he references their basketball team, which he was like, you guys' basketball team sucks. They always suck. They won that. They won championships. I don't know where this was going. Samoa Joe, I like him, but this was not his best moment by any means.
Because he gets cheered. He's trying to be the heel by shitting on the home team of the town that they're in. The classic heel trope. That's what they do. Colin Pettipas for $5. Pulling down straps, refs involved. Killing people with plastic bags and other weapons, nowhere to be seen. You could drown a guy in an aquarium. A $10 aquarium you got from
pull that
Roses.
strap back up.
But don't pull those straps down.
So, yeah. Monet arrives in a 1976 Rolls Royce, and I was like,
being driven by Dolomite.
Dude, and her manservants are getting out of the car and walking in front of it with all of her belts. This
was the neck rubber. Was the neck rubber one of the manservants? Don't drop that belt.
Oh, shit. Hello, Frisco.
Hello. Line up, everybody.
Statlander is with Renee Baguette, and Stat just takes the microphone.
Were they taking the clothes off?
No. She says, I'll accept Monet's challenge at Full Gear. So that's the match we get announced. You knew it was coming. Bottles, I've said it for months.
Right.
When she wins that AEW title, she's going to say, this is the only one that matters. I vacate all my championships, and Tony Khan is going to run out to the ring and say, I've got a new tournament to announce. I can't wait. Mm-hmm. Everything's great. You're great. I'm great. This tournament's great.
Speaking of tournaments.
We're going to get to that in a minute. Moody teenage music hits full of angst, and it's Darby Allin. Never mind. Here he comes to the ring. Darby Allin is very weird to me and what he does and how he's presented sometimes. But he
with the pink fuzzy jacket and the Frankenstein boots, all of
it's
Daisy
weird.
Dukes, the shitty makeup that looks like he slept in it. All of it's weird. All of it's weird. Still carrying that fly from Mount Everest that he supposedly climbed, that he wiped his ass on. Yeah.
But it's going to happen. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Nobody. We appreciate you, man. Darby gets in the ring.
Darby.
He says, I would die for this country. For this company. I would die for this company.
He was on his hands and knees. He was on his hands and knees saying that, pleading. Glenn Taylor, $20. Thanks, Glenn, for the 20 spot. I agree with Bottles. Hey, somebody agrees with Bottles. See that, honey? Promo was not Hangman's strong point. Colin Pettipas for the win. People attempted murder with fish tanks and lighting people on fire, but were worried about straps.
Keep the straps on. You're going too far. I get strapped down. She told me put them up again. She said I never can take them down.
Keep straps down. Oh, my God. Can we just get rid of My Little Pony? Can we seriously, whoever's watching this show from AEW corporate, if you could call it corporate, just get her off TV. She's a detriment to the product.
It gets better, Bottles. Because then Darby Allin says, it's never going to be over with me and the Cracker Clan until they're out of here. So this is going to keep going. It's not going to stop.
A 150-pound man by himself is going to eliminate Claudio Canoli and Pac with pants now, and the Chili's manager wrestler and Marina Shafir. Maybe he could take Marina Shafir in a fair fight. Warrior JWR for $199. TK is going to get the Betty Hill theme for Dynamite.
It would make sense. It would make the most sense. Thank you, Warrior, for the $2, man. It would make sense, Warrior. I can't argue with you on that, man.
Then when the show's over, when the show goes off the air, they play the end music from All in the Family.
Right. It makes sense.
You know how like the opening music is different from the end music of All in the Family? It's a different song completely. They could play that.
Was it Batman? They could do that when they go off the air.
Hawaii 5-0? The theme from Hawaii 5-0?
Jack Perry promo next. He says they beat the most legendary tag team ever, and they're back to get their titles.
Jesus Christ almighty. They beat, what, the Young Bucks? Who did they beat?
Yeah.
The Bucks? They're the most legendary tag team ever?
The most legendary tag team ever is the Road Warriors, and I don't care what you say. They called it the Road Warrior Pop for a reason.
Yes.
They are one of the few tag teams that sold out arenas because they were there. So let's be real about that. There is no one else outside of the Road Warriors that are even in their stratosphere. There's just not. There's not.
No.
And guess what? They didn't put on 5-star matches because you know what it's about? It's about the entertainment value. You wanted to see these two big bastards rough up these pencil neck geeks and throw them around some and leave the ring with the belts. That's what you paid to see.
I'm going to ask you this question right now. Who's the closest in professional wrestling today to the Road Warriors? What tag team?
We don't have one.
Hurt Syndicate's the closest, maybe? Well, you know somebody's going to get hurt. You know somebody's going to get their ass kicked when they come out.
Yeah, but that's probably the closest. But, I mean, they're not even in the stratosphere of that.
No. They're barely sniffing the stratosphere.
What a rush!
What a promo. They let the guy who can't talk first. And then he passes it over to Hawk. Tell him, Hawk. Well,
I was at the fucking Jersey Mike's earlier getting my sup and Ric Flair walked in.
He had shit running down his pants leg.
He told him a cold cut, and I said, that's my sandwich.
He gave me a bottle of Grey Goose, so I said, it's all good, brother.
And then in came Harley Race. I told that mother.
Oh, my God. The great Harley. What did Terry Funk say about that?
You know, I got to go home about a sick horse, Vince. I'll see you later.
God damn it. Give him that sub. Feed your horse that sub.
We got way off track, just like this show last night.
Do kids stop you on the street for your Terry Funk impression?
No, they do not.
The 12-year-olds don't say, Mr. Don, do your Terry Funk impression. It is gold, by the way. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. Penelope Ford, Megan Bain versus Sky Blue and Julia Hart. I said, oh, no. Versus Harley Cameron and Willow Mockingbird and Abdullah Amblangala and Jamie Hayter. And I said, this is a perfect time to check my phone, dust the television, and clean my windows. Hayter and Abdullah Amblangala win.
Did you see the botch in the match when Penelope Ford decided to do a moonsault off the top, and Sky Blue was supposed to catch her, and just completely whiffed it?
I did not see it.
Penelope Ford hit the ground on her elbow and hurt her elbow, and she's the one taking the finishers in the ring to get pinned, as she always does. And they had her arm yanked out, and she's like, oh, almost in tears, and he did her finishers on her, and that was it.
Okay, thank God. Here comes the worst absolute spot of this show. It's not even close, and I don't care what anybody says. The Bucks are once again seen backstage banging on Tony Khan's door, begging for another fake, goofy-ass match. We need some money, Khan. And Renee Baguette comes up, says, what are you guys doing here? Hey, go away. What does it look like we're doing here? We need money in a match. It's just the worst shit ever. And I said, well, at least Tony Khan's not going to come out. And he did. Tony Khan comes out and looks
so self-conscious.
How do I just... Is that the best way to describe it? He looks self-conscious of what he's doing.
Yes. When you're on TV, they tell you when you're filming a scene, they tell you don't look directly into the camera.
He was looking everywhere.
He kept looking because he's addressing the camera when he comes on, making a big announcement, Don. He's making a big announcement. So he's addressing the camera, holding his microphone. But he comes out, he's looking at one buck, and he goes,
it was so
and he looks at the other young buck, and then this one's talking to him. He goes, and goes back and looks at that young buck with unblinking the entire time.
I wrote this down. This was crazy, weird, cringy. He has got no idea what he's doing in front of that television.
No.
Hey. And he says, we're going to have a 4-way, and I know who your tag partners are going to be. And he opens the door and exits stage left, and FTR comes out and see. This
do you think they tell him?
Horrible.
Do you think they tell him backstage? You know, it's the solution to the bad ratings. They need more Tony Khan on TV. We need more you to be the bad guy, to be the evil general manager on TV. Because Dollar Store Adam Pearce just wasn't cutting it. He's gone now. He's vanished.
I don't think that's what they tell him at all. I think they say, "Can you look like you just got caught pumping a goat? If you can give me that facial expression,
I don't like
gold."
that kind of talk.
That's bad. That's not even PG, Don.
I don't even think that's PG. This segment was.
You just got the pumping a goat. A goat pumper.
Yes, the goat. What is milking it? He's milking the goat.
Who's in Tony's office? I keep hearing, nah, no. Who's in that office with Tony?
I'm good. I'm staying out of the joke segment right now. There's so many jokes that can be said, and I'm just going to stay out of it.
You know that milk and catering backstage? Don't drink that.
We're going on. Renee Baguette is magically in the middle of the ring when we come back. And she's bringing down Mercedes Moné for her celebration. And we got a dozen belts. And the puppet appears from under the table in front of the cake. I said, what the hell?
Not just in front of a cake. Not just in front of a cake. There was a mystery item there.
Oh, shit.
Did you see the mystery item that was there?
No, I did not.
The mystery item that was there was a pint of vodka.
Oh, yes.
With a shot glass.
It wasn't a pint. It was a half gallon.
That was a half gallon?
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
There was a half gallon of vodka there?
Yeah.
Or was it a fifth?
That was a half gallon. Thank you again, by the way, Glenn.
With a shot glass on a silver platter. Who was that for? They never even addressed it. They never even touched it.
Look, I'm just going to say this. Why the hell do you have a full half gallon if you're going to take shots? That's when you would have a fifth or something like that at most. You're not taking shots out of a half galloner. You're getting fucking hammered with that. You're not planning on taking sips.
Did Shivani leave that in the corner when he was interviewing Samoa Joe?
No.
Did he leave his vodka there?
That in the corner.
He's drinking that in the corner. Yes. And they just decided to put it on camera.
Just hold on now. The puppet appears. It's Harley Cameron. Clear. She's done it a million times.
Right.
Okay.
Minnie Monet. It's got a name now.
Yes.
Minnie Monet. Yes.
The puppet starts talking, and I'm like, where is this going? It's different. This is odd. I'll give it that. It's at least different. I'm not a particularly huge fan of puppets, but there's time for spots in comedy, and there is a cake in the ring. So you just knew somebody was going to go face first in this cake. It happens all the time. It's one of the oldest bits in wrestling. I don't hate it when it's done right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate it.
That's what drove Toni Storm out of WWE, pal. When she caught a pie or a cream-filled cake right in the face. And that was it. She quit that night. But it's okay for Monet to get one in the yap.
So Monet comes down now. Now her music plays again, and she really comes out. She says, cut my music. And she tells them, they've got a name, by the way. She says, Belt Boys, go to the back. So that's their official name, is the Belt Boys. You got to love it.
The Belt Boys.
She comes down. She tells the bread loaf to leave the ring so she can talk to the puppet. Monet and the puppet start arguing. The puppet's face gets shoved into the cake. And the puppet comes up looking sad that it got shoved in the cake. And she screams at Harley to come up out from under the table. And out of nowhere, a mystery figure appears in the background, puts Monet on her shoulders and lifts her up real quick and puts Monet through the cake. I laughed my ass off. I thought this was great.
Yes.
I said, that was well done. And it turns out it's Statlander. And when Monet got up, she has got shit all over her face. This was hilarious to me. This was the best thing they did all night, in my opinion. It started weird and ended on a strong note. That's all I could say.
She's finally getting her comeuppance. This is what the crowd wants to see. They want to see her stepping in shit. They want to see her falling face first into a cake. They want to see her slipping and sliding in a wet spot on the floor. They want to see her get her final comeuppance. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a lot of high hopes for Statlander's title reign. Transitory champion?
No, yeah. I've said it for months. This is how they're going to do this. It looks like it's setting up for it. It makes sense because there's no way she's going to go to 10 different promotions to lose those belts. Not going to happen.
No.
So I just want to say LOL perfect is how I ended that.
Yes.
Moxley segment from the pay-per-view now starts. And he says he did not deliver. And that night he didn't do his job. But no wrestler does what he does. And I wrote, no shit, please end it. Please stop doing what you're doing. I don't want to see it anymore.
Right.
The conglomerate comes out to Beverly Hills 90210 type theme music.
It looked like that, or like an episode of like the opening of Friends.
It was 90210. Trust me, I watched that when I was younger. I was hooked on that show. It was Teenage Angst.
Well,
and I wrote this down.
He could still come out to the Paragon.
Which
is gone.
No, it's not, because Roderick Strong refuses to be in those videos. Have you seen? He's the outlaw. I'm not doing this. This is stupid. They already had the one segment that was funny. We're doing another one right away. You got to space this shit out.
Bad pacing. Well, they can't write a TV show. You know,
well, that's
they don't know how to format a TV show.
And I noticed this last night because Kyle O'Reilly comes out from the conglomeration to face off against Jon Moxley. You know, my 12-year-old son says, I hate the way he says that. It's so annoying.
I hate everything about that ring announcer. I hate everything about that smarmy prick. I wish they would just put him on Ring of Honor so nobody sees him anymore.
Did you happen to notice the transformation is complete with Jon Moxley?
No. What are you getting at?
Okay, I'm going to get to this. Jon Moxley comes in and throws a water bottle at the wall like he's the baddest man on the planet. Water bottle. Just chucks it at the wall. And then he stands there, and I noticed he's wearing a denim jacket and is now wearing a big-ass necklace. Who have we always said he thinks he is or he's trying to emulate?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The process is complete. The process is complete. This showed it. John got it right away. Yes, he really thinks he's Stone Cold, man. He thinks he's this generation's version of that.
Every young boy needs an idol, Don. Every young boy needs a man to look up to.
This match happened. Steve Austin gave Kyle O'Reilly
Austin gave Kyle a Freudian slip there.
No, I'm just saying, if that's who he thinks he is, I'll go and say it. He gave him a pile driver, but we know those things never win a match anymore.
No,
they never
not
win.
anymore, no.
O'Reilly puts him in an ankle lock that he can't get out of, so Moxley decks the official.
Paul Turner takes one right in the yap, goes down.
He's disqualified. So now the whole thing is that he will tap out because he's a coward, I guess.
Who was one of the first referees to the ring? My Little Pony.
Yes, running down. Here I come to save the day.
My Little Pony was trotting down to the ring. Bryce Remsburg was riding her. He was whipping her with a riding crop. Faster, faster.
We come back from the break and everybody's in the ring. The conglomerate is in the ring. And I said, I'm not watching anything with Darby Allin. I'll come back with not Darby Allin, but with
Orange Cassidy.
Pockets, Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
I'm not watching anything with him. They had the match. The Globert wins. Out comes the Cracker Clan. They have a big schmoz. Darby Allin comes back and saves the day. This shit was starting to wear on me thin now. It was starting to wear on me thin. Fast. Mrs. Tootie is backstage with Monet. Athena comes up.
Wait, whoa. Mrs. Tootie.
Yeah.
Well, we are doing sitcoms, so Facts of Life. Tootie came back for the Facts of...
I don't know who the blonde chick...
Alicia Atoot. That's MJF's wife.
Yeah, Mrs. Tootie, like I said.
Mrs. Tootie.
She's out there. Monet and Athena are apparently...
Toots Freeman. Toots Freeman. Go ahead.
Monet is going to form a tag team with Athena to enter the tournament. I guess they need another team. The TNT champion comes out. Kyle Fletcher and Briscoe come down. He says they're going to give it another shot. Don says no.
Why?
And then
why are they doing this?
Another continuation. Tits McGee is seen backstage talking to the tickler, and I said, I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore, and I'm out. I can't put into words. I had a moment of maybe this will get better, and then they just deliver the same shit over and over and over again.
Over and over again.
I don't know what else to say, Bottles. It's just getting frustrating to watch at this point in time. You can tell Tony Khan doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and they refuse to acknowledge that he is the issue. They refuse to remove him from that seat because it's his company. It's his company, and the wrestlers are fine getting ready to do. They love doing whatever they want to do. I don't blame them.
Right.
The inmates are running the asylum.
It's a televised indie show. That's all it is. It's a televised indie show.
It takes a lot to get it right when you're learning the facts of life. The heavy metal version. I have no words on where this is going. I don't want to see anybody get skewered anymore. I don't want to see anybody get hit in the head with bullshit anymore. Let it all die down. I'm reading Sabu's book right now, right? And this brought my eyes got about this big. Sabu said in his own book, when I first started and I started to do my own kind of moves, I thought my move in every match will be I will put someone through a table and that will be my finishing move. If you do it every night, it's not special. And that's what ended up happening is they did it all the time at ECW to now it doesn't even register anymore as fans. It doesn't even register anymore.
It used to be when someone was going through a table, oh shit, he's pulling a table out. Holy shit. Now they chant for it. They all chant, we want tables. Every match, we want tables.
Ric Flair got pile driven into a table by Terry Funk, and people thought he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
They went too far. Sabu was one of them. He went too far with the bullshit.
With this show.
This show's going too far with the bullshit.
And you got people that people want to see on their TV screen instead of the conglomeration, that cast of characters. Instead of Kyle Fletcher cutting the same promo with Callis twice a week on both of these shows. The one that no one watches, and the one that's beginning to be the one that no one watches, Dynamite. You've got
no one watches that. No one.
Collision. No one watches Collision.
I'm sorry,
only the real hardcores. And you've got guys like Big Bill and his little sidekick, Low Plains Drifter, who we used to love to make fun of.
Which he.
Just gone, man. Just they rode out of town. They rode out of town on Big Bill on a White Stallion and Low Plains Drifter on a Shetland pony. They just rode right out of town. Never to be seen again.
And he was riding Aubrey Edwards?
Huh?
He was riding Aubrey Edwards?
Yes. He threatened to take her straps down. If you don't move fast. Yes.
Keep her at a trot.
Camille, gone. Wardlow, gone.
Where's she at? Wardlow has disappeared. MJF can't make up his mind if he wants to be a wrestler anymore. I don't know what the hell's with that guy.
He's supposedly doing a movie. But they did have him in Japan. They had him in Japan wrestling some schmuck. They had him in Mexico wrestling some schmuck. Why not have him on your main show? Are there people in Japan saying, Mr. Tony, send over MJF. We need to see MJF. No one knows who MJF is over in Japan.
Well, they don't have any stars in Japan anymore, so that's a big problem.
Big problem.
That's a big
because Tony's got them all.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. We'll be back next week with another rendition of the Squared Circle Maniacs. Until next time.
Maybe.
There's still maybe. I know one guy that likes.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.